Hi, hello there. I've played this game for about 4-ish hours right now, and what do I think? I I don't I won't not recommend it. It is a really simple game to really like figure out and to put your time into it. You can really sink hours into it if you have enough energy for it, and if you have more friends, it just might make the game even a lot more fun. But I will say, in my experience of this game, I do wish I had the luxury of using the WASD controls to move around. But it was fine. I was able to get from place to place pretty okay. The skills are pretty usable. You can definitely build your character to as many versions of the same class as you want. Like I just in the past 20 levels, I've just maximized my use of just one of two skills, maybe three skills, and maximize the health and durability of my summons. So that's been the way I played the this game. This game's been pretty fun overall. I will say that in hindsight, if I had a chance to really get into um, Diablo's been pretty fun. Diablo was a fun game to really play by myself. Um, but let's see what others have suggested. This game has a not too bad suggestion. This game's pretty okay as it is. Nominated. Oh, they're asking me to nominate my favorite game, but it's mostly reviews are mostly positive. Um, yeah, the game does really come repetitive, and it got boring the more like I played by myself. So it is more of a casual game. I will say that. Um, but let's see. In the past 30 days, this product looks like when when the sales teams when it takes over. Yeah, it's really. I would say the game's really basic. You click to attack, and then you need the chance to the dodge, and otherwise, the way I built my necromancer, it provided me a lot of just auto battling almost because by the time as of this moment, I have four summons, four warriors to fight by my side, and three um uh mages to summon on top of that. So in one of the latest dungeons I've had, I was playing with a party of essentially like six. Hold on, four, eight, nine characters fighting, and that's just me, the NPC, and the minions I summoned. That's like a lot of characters to be used to fight other enemies as it was. So it was pretty like OP almost. Um, let's see, just recent better than what I expected, but nothing can beat. Again, people are comparing it to Diablo 2. Another person says decent. You don't even need BattleNet to start if you if you're existing if you are existing BattleNet player. Fun game to take things easy. Yeah, it was very easy for the game just to hold my hand of Necromancer. I don't know how the build will be with other character types. It just really depends. Someone said it's not recommended because actually someone recommended it after 2 hours where decent if you don't know it's nice. If you just want to waste a few hours killing the horde from hell, then this is good for that. The hype is just that hype. From the few that think you should be at the end game in a few hours, there's a lot to do in the game and it's enjoyable. Yeah, as I noticed playing this game, every after things were ramping up by the time I was level 19, all the enemies and all the missions scale to your level. So at what point does it becomes more challenging if depending how you play it. And with how I was playing it, it was pretty much easy mode with auto battler. Um, but I will say the difficulty is gonna ramp up the moment you choose to do like hardcore and world tier 2 and so forth. There are ways to make the game harder and there's ways to make the game easier for yourself. Um, Someone mentioned that after 80 hours, let's see, Diablo 4 didn't respect my time, so I'll keep this somewhat short and sum up the main points to decide if this game is worth it for you. But you submitted 80 hours on record of gameplay, which means that you had more than enough time to really decide if this game was meant for you. They mentioned fun basic gameplay with boring gameplay loops, which is reasonable. There is a lot of loops to it. Um, there are 4 builds. Each class has 4 builds, which can be mixed and matched. And for me, I did not know what I was doing. I didn't know a build going into the game, so I just picked out what things were really fun. Where hey, there came a point where to my long range weapon was me launching my skeleton to do a slash attack, and then when I had no more essence to be used to use like as an attack, I depleted the remaining essence into an exploding ghost. And then I still had my great sword attack, which had a scythe astral projection to like do an even wider attack. So I was doing pretty well with that combination. But it's like that's my build so far. Sacred Essential Sacred Ancestral Unique Gear only matches some builds. And yeah, like if you look down at some of the equipment that I had, probably the majority of it wasn't catered to the skills I wanted because a lot of the skills that I did use, um, I didn't really read it properly. It didn't really force me to like figure out a proper build to play the game because in World Tier 1, everything was dying left and right pretty easily. So that wasn't too bad. Let's see. Feels like the game was made by people who don't play video games. I mean, in terms of ease, it's pretty easy to pick up and put down. There's not a lot of time commitment that it's asking from you, other than the times that you go into the dungeon. Because the moment I had to reset the computer a couple of times because I thought that my dropped frame rate was from the game itself, but it was actually my router. However, every time I reset the computer to reset the game, it would pull me out from the dungeon that I was a part of, that I was just needing 10 to 15 minutes of turning on and off. Seconds, sorry, of turning off the game, turning on the game. And like it registers, oh, you disconnected. Here, let me pull you back just in case you want to start over again after a reset like that. It's whatever. Um, let's see. Mining ores and doing herbalism is required to upgrade gear and potions, which is not too bad. Anything that's pertinent to me, always something to do, but always lacking dopamine hits. The loot is only ever incrementally good, except when first accessing a new world difficulty tier. Yeah, definitely because I was losing my dopamine hit when I was playing this game. It's probably good during the first couple hours, and on the third and 3 hour 30-minute mark, I was drained from really enjoying it. So it's fine. Um, let's see. What else? What else? I downloaded this. Oh, there's not a bad review after half an hour. Funny enough. Okay, let's see. What do you think about this? I downloaded the game and logged into my BattleNet. Nothing happened. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it was pretty fun playing the Necromancer. Let's see. Yeah, definitely like the when it came to the monetization was still there as a beginning player, and that makes sense. The free weekend promo was in the assumption that, hey, you own this game, full rights to it, for the weekend. However, some things like the seasonal pass you still have to pay for. There are still things that you have to pay for to make the game more enjoyable. Like I would have loved to have a mount so I can just travel faster because there are fewer uh quick time quick uh tra- quick traversal points that I could access to. And even if I were to exit the dungeon, if I use that portal by accident, I would just have to go back to where I were was last by accident too. So there's not much to use in terms of resources to fast travel. After level 20, like up until level 20, I never had the opportunity to get a mount unless I couldn't find it, which is probably my fault. Um, Somebody still recommends it after 100 hours of gameplay. Since the release 3 weeks ago. There's been a lot of. They hate the end game or whatever. I intend to keep playing the game semi casually and start a new character each season and get maybe 200 hours a quarter out of the game. That's a large maybe though. Okay, what other people are saying bad things otherwise? Because I'm trying to look at the most recent um, reviews in the past 30 days. Um, what about the other negative ones? Because I want to see how they, um, their recent express experience with it. I can forgive the lives. I can forgive the live service gouging, but this always online claptrap makes it a complete pain to play on the Steam Deck. Yeah, you have to be online to play this game because that alone, for me to like turn off the game, turn on the game, it definitely pulls you out of the immersion because like oopsie poopsie, the internet had to be reset. Let's go back in. And then you have to travel through the dungeon all over again when you might have spent a lot of resources. I don't know if I lost any resource from fast traveling, from resetting, from the time of reset in the middle of the dungeon to when I had to start that over. I didn't get a chance to really check. Hey, did I lose loot? Hey, did I lose progression? Because I already lost progression of the dungeon as it is, but I want to make sure I keep my items that I gained from it, anyways. Let's see. I read that already. Decent game, just not. Yeah, after playing it, I don't know why people wanted to pay $60, $70 for it because you point and click to move, you you click to attack. You press space to dodge. The mechanics is really hard to fight for in my perspective. For me, it's been hard to fight for at the moment. Um, let's see. Itemization is completely garbage. There is not really anything to change except for a few super rare uniques. Yeah, definitely like lately whenever the drops of loot have been abundant during my experience, but I still it's there's I haven't found the button to just like mass toss items, but because it keeps once my inventory is filled, I have to individually select and drop one thing at a time in order to like make more space. In that last dungeon that I don't think I could have just used the leave dungeon map scroll option to go sell my stuff because I was in the middle of something. That part didn't let me use it, so I don't know. I will say that after spending the amount of hours that I did, um, it's an average game. It's not as compelling as I thought it'd be, but it's fine. I will say that if you like these kind of like TRPGs, the action RPGs, the this experience it's been fun, and you can like enjoy it. But I will say that it's not something that I can see myself playing, like going home from work excited to play, because I have Monster Hunter, I have Persona that I would love to go and play more hours into. There's a compelling story. There's a much more compelling story in Persona 5 than this game. There's much more of a compelling gameplay experience for me in Monster Hunter than this game. So it's, I would say this game is pretty mid. So yeah, that's my experience. But let me know what you think down below in the comments.